Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. So, uh, everybody keeps wanting me to cite my sources. Well, here's a very good source. You ready? ABC News. This comes directly from ABC News. You've heard of ABC News before, haven't you? So let's take it. What if I told you? Now, a lot of you all have come onto my channel and said, he's this, that, and the other. We're talking about Bill Cosby here. He's this, that, and the other, and how can you defend the blah, 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 blah. What if I told you that one of the women took to the stand in the court of law, and reiterated her story of how she was there and how she was over at his house and how she woke up with him on top of her, and oh, it was terrible, and it was horrible. It was horrible. Oh my God. Why am I making fun of this woman? Keep watching. And then the cross-examination begins. And she admits that she made the entire thing up. On the stand, admits that she made the entire thing up to put in her memoir. As a part of her memoirs, to make herself seem larger than life. Why am I making fun of her? Because this person is Janice Dickinson. And she is the one that they coined the term supermodel for. So here's a former model who was so famous that they coined a phrase supermodel from. That's not enough for her. She then has to jump on this bandwagon, and she came late to the party. If you were actually paying attention to the entire allegations and stuff like that. Now, I have it that 70% of the women, first of all, didn't say anything happened. But everybody keeps saying, oh, 60 women, 60 women. Then it was 50. Then it went to 40. Then it went to 30. And then they did the Time magazine cover of all the women sitting in chairs, and then there was a chair, empty the chair, and they said the empty chair is for the women who just haven't come forward, because we know that. Let me tell you this: the guy was nearly a billionaire, and that's a Tuesday. Everybody says, but it was 40 women. It was 40. It was 40. The president of the United States attorney. His real personal attorney, said that he gets about 200 accusations per month. 200 accusations per month. And he is a billionaire. Women come out the woodworks for what? To make money. They have zero compunction about lying through their teeth. Now, let's get back to the case. This woman took the stand, made an affirmative testimony on the stand under oath. Then upon cross-examination, admits that the entire thing was a complete and utter fabrication, made up, whole cloth, right out of her head. I want to ask you people, have you heard of her going to jail? That's perjury. And everybody kept saying, well, if that was the case, they should be in jail. Well, what's the problem with that? And I kept shaking my head. Every time I saw your comments, I kept shaking my head. I said, well, the problem with perjury, the problem with contempt of court, is somebody has to say, hey, that's perjury, like the judge. That's perjury, or the DA. That's contempt of court. You're going to go to jail. We're going to prosecute you for that perjury. and it hasn't happened. It's not going to happen. I kept saying it was a kangaroo court. What part of that don't you understand? What part don't you get? Now, a series of articles have come out surrounding Dr. Cosby. One, Dr. Cosby says that he finds jail to be amazing. And of course, they were trying to make it out that he's crazy. Okay. Well, if he's crazy, he shouldn't be in jail, right? Hold on now. Hold on. We're getting into some. We really didn't mean that he was crazy. We just think that he's, he's just out of it for the day. And I'll explain all of these things in a second here. Then another one came out and says, his own wife and his own children won't visit him in jail. Oh, that must mean he's a monster. That must means that they don't actually like him. Hold on, because if you're reporting that, you're still playing into his field, right? I'm gonna explain that one too. Then another series of things says Dr. Cosby is Mr. Popular in prison. Oh, what? Hold on. Well, maybe that is actually referencing why he's finding prison to be amazing. He was in isolation for the first part of his prison stay. Isolation. It was for his safety. Are you sure it was for his safety? Or were you trying to maybe create a hostile environment for him? So you have to brainwash the other prisoners, but they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. The actual other prisoners find it amazing that they're in prison with the legendary Bill Cosby. They love him. They think it's fantastic that they get to share a portion of their life with Bill Cosby. And this failure to brainwash prisoners, whom we of course all look down upon, whom if you can tell that Bill Cosby was sent to jail innocent of the actual charges, then you can probably suggest or infer that maybe there's some innocent men in prison right along with Bill Cosby, because this only proves the case that there is a complete travesty of injustice going on in our legal system in the United States. When they first tried to apply forensic evidence to all of the cases of the men in prison, they immediately let 25% of the prisoners completely go. And in fact, I heard of a story of two twins who were, mentally challenged, who the forensic evidence proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that they were not at the scene of the crime. It was a murder case. And they're on death row or something like that. Two twins. And they said, well, we got a confession. You got a confession out of mentally challenged men. And in fact, we have it on authority, on good authority, that a lot of the cases where we have confessions, we start looking at confessions, and we find that there's a lot of mental incapacity people confessing to crimes. Why? Because the police systematically put pressure upon them, and of course they break. They are not of the intellect of Shakaama. They're not of the mental fortitude of Shakaama. I have police actually apologize for speaking to me. Now, Now, I have normal people apologizing for cursing in front of me and speaking to me in any sort of crass manner also. But you know, we're talking about the police. 25% of the men were completely let go, immediately let go when they applied forensic evidence to cases across the board, across the land. How much do you want to bet that maybe 40%, maybe 50% of the people in jail are completely innocent? And the Cosby case is shedding light upon the legal system that we have in place here. That maybe this our legal system that we are so proud of and that politicians run on, and that they're making trillions of dollars on through your taxpayer money, is not the thing that we actually want. When the left, the woke left, says we have 10 times more prisoner in jail in the United States than China, than Russia, than anywhere in the Middle East. Is it that we have more criminals in the United States? No. We have a runaway, outrageous, corrupt legal system. It's worse than Mexico. It's worse than Venezuela. It's worse than it's worse than the worst of countries. It's worse than the worst of countries? Yeah. And then we have a woman sit on a stand and completely lie and then confess that she lies and nothing happens to her. Check it out, ABC News. Tell me what you think. Please help support the channel because, you know, that last video took a week for YouTube to approve. And every time somebody went and looked at it, I got an actual tally of who was looking at it. So I behind the scenes, I could tell that this person looked at it, and that person looked at it, and that person, 20 different people watched the video at YouTube. Actual people. This wasn't robots. At first, I thought it was robots, but when it comes to a number like that, that's not robots. That's people. So YouTube doesn't want to support me. And are you getting advertisements on those videos? So YouTube doesn't want to support me. And although this is all legal stuff, this is all about what's going on in the courtroom. This is all very innocent and above board. This is something that you can watch with your kids. So support me, paypal.me/Shakaama. Thank you all for everybody who supported me so far. And the response has been tremendous. The channel has moved into a different category. And hopefully we're going to round the 100,000 subscriber mark. So make sure you subscribe. YouTube is trying to crack down on stuff that doesn't even need to be cracked down on. Just stuff, and they don't apply. YouTube doesn't even apply their own stuff because the stuff that I cannot say in my videos is actually on the trending page. That means if they favor those people, they can say blatantly stuff that I'm not allowed to say, and that I would actually get in trouble, and that I would have community strikes against me. Which means I'm on the road to being taken off of the channel completely. But they have people say exactly the stuff that I cannot say on the trending page. That YouTube itself is promoting worldwide, or at least on this half of the world. Thank you all for watching. PayPal.me/Shakaama.